Hello and welcome to iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. This is an XCOM 2 mod spotlight. Today we're going to take a look at two classes we've already seen, the Long War Ranger and the Long War Specialist, and two new classes, the Long War Sharpshooter and the Long War Assault. As always, we're not going to go over each and every ability, but we are going to talk about how these classes work together on the battlefield. Before we get started, the Long War Sharpshooter can be either a mobile marksman, a deadly sniper, or a mix of the two. Meanwhile, the Long War Assault is a shotgun-wielding close combat specialist that will destroy anything that dares to get close. And it can take some pretty serious punishment. And here we go. We've got our 4 Long War soldiers ready for action, so let's see what they're capable of. First up, our Assault is spec'd to be most effective when he's knee-deep in Advent's ass. The closer he is to the enemy, the more damage he'll be able to do. Next up, our Ranger is spec'd as an Overwatch Specialist. If we create a good ambush, she'll be able to deal an insane amount of damage. Up third is our Specialist. She's a combat hacker medic hybrid. She'll be able to deal with a wide variety of situations. Last but certainly not least, our Sharpshooter. She's spec'd out to be a pure sniper. All of her abilities are designed to almost guarantee death to whatever targets are in her sights. Speaking of targets being in sights, it looks like we found a sectoid. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big fan of these things. Problem is, our standard shot, unless it crits, won't be strong enough to guarantee a kill. We can't do anything to guarantee a critical strike, but we can greatly increase our chances with the ability Precision Shot. That guy is cooked. Well done. Stick a fork in him, send him back to the kitchen and tell the chef, I like my sectoids medium rare. Bad jokes aside, the ability Death from Above and Steady Weapon are the most valuable tools for a Long War Sharpshooter. After securing a kill, you can increase your aim for the next turn, which will make it easier to secure the next kill. And the next kill, and the next kill. It's a vicious cycle. And as always, we are playing with the All Pods active modification installed, which means now that we've engaged the enemy, the rest of Advent are going to charge forward. Additionally, you'll notice we've got some new faces among the crowd. We are playing with the Long War Alien Pack installed, and we're going to talk about that very briefly. But before we do, we've got a more pressing issue. Advent mechs are one of the most annoying units on the battlefield. If you ever find yourself in a position where killing one of these bad boys doesn't feel like a top priority, a Long War Specialist is going to be your best friend. The HAYWIRE protocol ability will allow us to temporarily shut down this mech or any other mechanical unit we happen to find. While it does have a chance to fail, and if it does, the mech will gain increased stats, in this case, RNGesus was on our side. Now, let's turn our attention back to our Sharpshooter. Unfortunately, none of the targets I want to kill will die from a standard shot, but thankfully, we don't have to take one. The ability DEADEYE is a shot that deals increased damage at the cost of accuracy, but thanks to our activation of Steady Weapon last turn, that deficit is negated. Boom! That turret is done, we get to repeat the Death from Above Steady Weapon process again. Now, I bet you're starting to wonder, what's the Assault class doing? Is he just standing around? No, in fact, he's doing the opposite. He's running straight into the belly of the beast. Well, actually, he's running into a window and then he's going to be inside a house. But the reason he's doing this is because of the ability Close Combat Specialist. Enemies that move or take an action within his 4-tile radius will get shot the fuck up. Now, this isn't a guaranteed chance to hit, but when it does hit, people die. And since we're already here, we may as well take a look at the Advent Surveillance Drone, one of the enemies from the Long War Alien Pack. All I'll say is, you're gonna learn to hate these things. They have very strong crowd control abilities and 2 points of armor, which makes them a very powerful enemy in the early game. But thankfully, we had an axe on our back that we could throw at that thing. It's broken now. It's not gonna hurt us. So, while our Assault was dealing with that Advent tin can, our Specialist and our Ranger were trying to take down the disabled Advent mech. Unfortunately, the ability Combat Protocol from our Specialist and Fanfire from our Ranger weren't enough. Fortunately for us, our Assault can secure the kill with his melee weapon. Now it's time to take a look at the aliens. This unit might look like a Viper, but it's actually a Naga, or Naga, however it's pronounced, which is another type of snake, but these are more accurate and more deadly than the base game's Viper. Also, instead of trying to pull you out of cover with their tongues or spitting poison all over the place, they're just gonna shoot you in the face. And as we can see, it's not good. It hurts. So our specialist is now bleeding out, but we're not out of the game yet. We still have our Long War Ranger with us. Now this isn't a special ability, it's just a standard flashbang, but we're gonna throw it at these Naga and disorient them because they rely very heavily on their accuracy to deal damage. Without that accuracy, they're gonna be a little bit more vulnerable. In addition to that, snipers suffer a range penalty from close range, so I'm gonna try and get in as close as possible with the ability Run and Gun from our Assault class. This ability allows us to take an action after sprinting, so we can get in close and then use that shotgun in its effective range. So let's take this stupid It missed. Okay, so this is a problem, but we're gonna deal with it. The Assault class is a bit of a one-trick pony, but the one trick that he has is insanely powerful. As you can see, the Naga are trying to attack him, but the Close Combat Specialist ability is triggering. And the coolest thing about this ability is that there is no limit to the amount of times that it can trigger besides your ammunition capacity. So if you really want to make the best use of this ability, try and get an expanded magazine on your shotgun. Now, last but certainly not least, while our Assault is taking care of things on the front lines, our Sharpshooter and our Ranger are going to deal with the reinforcements Advent is calling in. Because we know where they are and when they're going to land, we can activate our Overwatch and wait for their arrival. And because our Ranger has the rapid reaction ability, we can take multiple Overwatch shots at this ambush. It's a little bit ridiculous. But in all honesty, I'm not complaining. Now, we didn't get everyone, but the Ranger's base ability Light 'em Up will allow us to take a standard shot without ending our turn, leaving us with the ability to take another shot with our second action point. Or we can take out our pistol and pat, finish the job with fanfire. And now let's finish off the last remaining Advent soldier with Double Tap. This ability takes 2 standard shots in a single turn. The second shot suffers an aim penalty of 10, but our sniper clearly knows what she's doing with that thing, so it's not a problem. And that Advent captain hit his head on the rock really hard. But anyway, this has been the Long War Perk Pack. At this point, we've gone through every single class in the pack, and we've seen how they can function by themselves and with each other. So, the name of the game is XCOM 2, the name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.